AI is the money-making narrative of 2025. Well, unless you're a Trump fan that just happened to be sitting in the trenches on a Friday night when you randomly drop that meme coin and then another one. But if you're not, AI is your best bet for generational wealth this cycle. AI is not just the hot narrative in crypto, but things like AI agents are on the minds of every big tech-focused company out there. In my latest Intel report, I'm going to show you how to find the best AI agent coins before they explode in price so you can 100x that next high conviction play. It's mission time. Welcome back, agents. Secret Agent Stash here. We are GIA headquarters, the gaming intelligence agency, always bring you the latest intel on the newest games and coins. Today, we're taking a look at AI agents in the scene. I'm going to show you some tools and some resources that I use to find the next big AI play. I want you guys to make as much money this bull cycle. And so these are some of the cool things that I'm using right now to find those next big plays. We're going to start with an overview of the entire ecosystem. Then we're going to move on to some of my favorite tools like Dex Screener and Cookie.fun and a couple others. And I'm going to show you a couple of big X follows, people who are talking about AI agents. Really great to be able to follow them to get all that alpha. We're talking about a couple of groups that are important. And then I'm going to show you a couple of platforms that you need to know as well. So let's dive right in. Okay, so first things first, a pretty big overview of the general AI sector can be found pretty quickly and easily here on CoinMarketCap just by going to their couple categories. So the ones I recommend are the DeFi category, it's DeFi plus AI, and also the AI agents category. You can see they're slightly different, there's some overlap there. As you can see right here, we see projects like AIXBT, Griffane, Anon, Orbit, Hive, brand new one on Solana. We're going to talk about that here in just a second and a bunch of others. But this gives you a good overview of just kind of what's out there in a very clean manner. It's not focused on trading. It's just really quick and easy way to look at the ecosystems, and you can kind of get a big picture. The same thing for some of the tokens here that are more considered like AI agents specifically. You see AI 16Zs in here, Virtuals in here, and a couple other Reservo, a couple other ones, ALI, one of my other favorites, and a few other ones here that you might recognize. Now, I did a video just about 2 weeks ago about a bunch of these tokens and told you guys it was a great time to be snapping some of these up. And if you had looked at that, in particular, some here, AIXBT is one of those big ones. Video came out right here, and then we pumped here. And then video came out for Griffane, same thing, around the 9th was when I did, it was like right here, the 10th. So it came out and already looking up pretty good. So some of these were some pretty good buys, but there's still lots of buys out there. And if you're missing some of these tokens that have what I consider kind of blue chips, there's great ways to be able to find brand new tokens coming out, but you have to put the time and work into it. Just going to a place like CoinMarketCap and looking at the data here is not going to be enough. This is not enough. So you have to really dive down and dig into this. And there's a quote that my buddy Ash Robin here just said recently. He's like, some people are complaining about them not making enough money in crypto. It's the same of like saying, hey, I'm not losing enough weight, but just never going to the gym. You need to get in the trenches and you need to actually really 100% focus to make that big money, because the people that do are profiting every single day. Now, one of my favorite sites is Dex Screener. This is like, I would say kind of one of the most centralized sites to be able to find everything that's going on, not just in the AI agent scene, but across meme coins and across every major blockchain that is kind of using these kind of tools, either AI or memes or whatever that may be. Now it's very heavily focused on Solana because there's a lot of Solana pairs out there being created because it's so easy to do. But you can drill this down very significantly, right? It's a great place to just look for tokens. But if you maybe see something on social and they're like, hey, here's the CA, right? That means contract address, and that's a way to be able to find tokens on something like Dex Screener as well, because it's essentially aggregating all this information from multiple dexes into one place. You can see it all there. We're not trading AI agents or AI tokens typically on the SEX, right? Like a centralized exchange. We're always doing it through a decentralized exchange interface. And as you can see, there's a couple of things. So like right now, this is kind of the main page. It's going to show you some of the big movers. There's lots of options to be able to filter things down. You can also look at the brand new pairs and kind of filter it down by their different ecosystems. Solana, there's new pairs coming out like this all the time, every second, right? You can see age, like there's, it's like you can do by, like if you sort it by age, like here it is, like they just came out like, just a couple hours, like wait, let's go here, 12 minutes, 15 minutes, 21 minutes, like every couple minutes. different on base. So then, not to say there's not a bunch, but when you look at base too, like, everyone's trying to capitalize on that next big meme or the next big play. Now, this doesn't give you a overview of the AI scene, which is what we're really focused on. This is just kind of puts everything indexes together. But it is great to be able to drill down by these different things. And if you're looking for specific tokens for AI agents, like we'll say maybe my token, like Buzzda, you can go in here and kind of look at that information and get everything you need. It's got the chart, it has buys. There's so much information. You can actually even tag holders and see where they're buying and selling. You can follow different wallets here. It shows you everything you need to know in a really good, kind of user interface that is, like I said, is one of my favorites. But if we're gonna drill down into specifically AI and AI agents, one of my favorites here is actually called Cookie.fun. Right now, they're tracking about 1,300 AI agents, and it's specifically focused on that market. And they give you some really cool tools like, the mind share, right? This mind share is kind of like a social thing. It's like, okay, well, how many people are talking about this? How popular is it? Are people posting about it? Is there some big news? And these go up and down a lot. And so you can see here, it kind of gives you a really big overview of this. They're tracking just coins that are on Solana and Base, because this is where most AI agents and big AI plays are right now. So you can kind of see the difference here in right now, Farcoin, top of the list. Sometimes I hate to say it, but that's the case. But then we see some other big use cases of AI XBT, Virtuals, AI 16Z also big. We talked about Griffane earlier. Arc is another one that's big. Rect AI guy. So there's a couple ones, and this actually allows you to really dive into this a little bit more. So you can see it kind of shows you a little bit about what's going on with this token. I love this little social graph here, right? Kind of shows you like, oh, this guy posted about it and it pumped here or dumped here or whatever it may be. Now that may not really be why it pumped or dumped, but it's kind of interesting to see that correlation, right? You can also unlock some more premium features by owning 10,000 cookie and locking that up there. So there are some other cool things you can do. So if you think, hey man, I love using Cookie.fun, lock up some tokens and you get some more premium features. But it's a great way to kind of understand the mind share and kind of the whole AI system, how they all work together, and why you might be looking at some of these things, right? And then same thing in a similar way, we've seen the Yaps platform here do something very similar. So Yaps, we've talked about it here. It's a kind of social interaction game on Twitter. It's gamified Twitter, but they have a bunch of different leaderboards. Their main one is the CT leaderboard, right? And this is basically like, hey, who's talking a bunch? Who's, has big mindshare? Mindshare is a very big narrative right now as well, right? So the mindshare is a pretty big thing. So you can see kind of like these are all personalities or people on Twitter or on X, right? They call it CT because it's crypto Twitter is kind of the old name for it. But what I love is the AI agent leaderboard here, where you can actually see what the AI agents are doing as far as mindshare. And you can compare it to something like a Cookie.fun, where you can see right here, like, okay, cool, Farcoin right here, it says that, it's kind of the biggest loser. Like you can see like, well, who's gone up, wrecked? Does that kind of correlate here? Are we seeing a lot of the same things? And sometimes we don't. Right, so there's some arbitrage opportunities to understand, like, well, maybe Cookie.fun is not tracking it correctly, and that's something I might want to be looking at for that next big play. Maybe something pops in real quick on one of these, but not on the other. So, once again, this is all showing kind of the top stuff, but if you kind of sort it back down and you see something moving very fast, it's brand new, that could be a good sign that it's a time, time to be trying to buy as quickly as possible. Now, another really cool resource that is a little bit different here focuses on Solana. This is a GOAT index. And, it does have an AI index here that kind of just goes over a lot of the same things that we just talked about, right? Very focused on Solana. But the interesting thing about this website is actually the Solana AI hackathon list right here, which shows you, a kind of a clear picture of some of the brand new tokens that just came from this AI hackathon. You can see the Hive is number 1 here, and then we see FXN as number 3 actually in market cap. Both of these were winners in this AI Solana hackathon, right? So looking out for things like this, hackathons or other events where tokens are coming out of it, is a good way to find them before they blow up, right? Hive was a big play. You can see, man, as soon as you saw it get number 1, people see that as an indicator and they want to jump on, right? So yeah, another thing that you'd be looking at, and it's not just all about watching a chart all day long. Looking at data like this and following these types of events can also be big triggers for a big 100x play. Funny enough, right now you see the Hive and FXN in the top list here, but you don't see Jailbreak Me anywhere in this top list as far as I can see. I don't see it in here. Oh, it's right here. It's number 20, barely in here, right? So you can kind of see that. So Once again, some other indicators I think are important. Okay, so I've showed you some platforms that are important to be able to do research, things to look out for, competitions, all kinds of stuff, but you also want to be looking at social data, what people are posting, and in particular here on X. When they call crypto Twitter, it's no longer Twitter, I guess crypto X is what it is now, but there's a lot of alpha going on there if you follow the right accounts, and there's some big ones that are constantly talking about AI agents and these AI plays that I follow that I think are really great to be able to get some of that alpha from. Now, you may not be getting it right away, but you're still probably getting it much earlier than a majority of people, especially if you're really following these accounts as soon as they post and you kind of see what they're doing. Now, I wouldn't say follow these guys for financial advice at all. They're all very good, but take it all with a grain of salt. It's all research, so you can make your own decisions, right? So I think that's a big thing, is I would never follow any of these guys blindly, but they are pretty smart chaps. One of the ones right here that's pretty big is ICO Beast or ICO Beast. Right, he has been crushing it here in the AI agents game, and you know, when you look at some of the posts and things like that, absolute great calls, always posting, always active. He's in a bunch of really great groups, and so the alpha is always really high. One of my very favorite plays right now to be able to jump in here and learn a little bit from and watch what he's doing. Ghost is another great one. He's really in the thick of the AI agent scene. He's a leader of the DTR group, which is the Decentralized Tech Researchers, and they launched a token for their upcoming utility platform that is going to allow you to do research and all kinds of cool things. So when you look at some of these other plays, getting into some of these groups, which we're going to talk about later, can be very beneficial because you get access to some really great tools too. But this guy just posts about AI agents all day long, and he's got great calls. He's got great instincts on AI. Now, not to be outdone here, this is the only AI agent that I'm actually going to mention, the automated agent, that is actually worth a follow, that you really should be watching, man. His calls are spot on. This AI XBT agent, he is autonomous. He's out there learning on his own and posting this stuff, but man, he's got a lot of calls out there, and he does a very good job of kind of summing things up and really pushing it, things like that, right? So right now, he's just talking about like Ross. So Ross got pardoned. From President Trump, and of course someone made a meme coin real quick about it, and it's exploding, and he's first to kind of put it out there, right? So definitely one to watch when it comes to that quick alpha. I also like Sammy. Sammy's also really entrenched in the AI scene, in particular in virtuals. He talks about virtuals a lot, but great posts. Really on top of the AI scene here too. Another one of my favorites in the AI scene is Sovereign. He's been one of my agents for quite some time. He's in a bunch of other great groups, which I'm not going to mention here, but they are also cool. He does a great job in curating AI, in particular when it comes to gaming, and he does these big mega lists here and kind of his big token portfolio updates, kind of documenting what he's been doing for like the last 6 or 8 months. This guy was ahead of the curve when it came to AI and agents and AI gaming, and so he's a great follow to be able to look at in any of his posts here, and in particular any of the groups he's in. If you guys are in my Discord, great guy to interact with too. Now this next guy here, Jeff, is a newer follow for me, someone who's definitely big in the AI scene. He's got some good posts kind of focusing on the AI agent space and DeFi, really kind of talking about Solana and some other things going on here. So a great kind of person to follow. Doesn't post as much as some of the other guys on this list, so you may not see as many posts from him, but still a pretty high quality follow in the AI agent scene. Okay, Liam is another new follow here for me, but someone I've been watching here in the AI agent scene. Once again, actually posts quite often, and was talking about a lot of these projects in particular, talking about Virtual's team here a lot, and other things going on, talking about anime here and Hyperliquid and kind of pre-market. So really diving into a lot of the stuff. He's very technical and is a great follow. Once again, posts a little bit more often than some of these other ones, but do love his takes. And I think someone that has a good handle on the market and is consistently kind of posting a lot of similar content, so it kind of gets you primed for like, okay, well, this is something I can expect to see from him on almost a daily basis and multiple times per day. So perhaps you get something early off of this guy that actually could be a good play, or at least understanding some other great tools or ways that you can go about finding that next big 100x play. Now, when I talk about a lot of these individuals on X, they're great to follow, but most of the information you're getting on X has already been talked about in private groups. This is how it goes in crypto. They call it cabals, right? Everyone has their own little private chat groups, right? And there's some bigger ones out there that I want to mention. Most of them are private. You have to apply or know somebody or get in some sort of way. Now, I'm not saying that you need to get in these groups, but there are tons of great quality groups out there. The main thing is find people you can trade with. Find people you can talk about this stuff all the time. That's what a trench actually is. Just a group of friends talking about crypto and just immersed in it. So DTR is Decentralized Tech Researchers. They have a group on Telegram. Like I said, they've launched a token, and they have a kind of research analytic platform that they're going to be putting out here pretty soon. But it's a great group on Telegram, man. They're talking about all these things all the time. There's builders in there. There's traders in there. So it's a great, place to be to really talk about all these things, and one that I really enjoy. So getting a group like that would be great. I also love what's going on in Wolves DAO. Outside of all the amazing things that the Wolves do, I've been a Wolf for a long time, and I love the entire community there. But there's an AI channel there that is absolutely popping off with everyone talking about AI almost every single day. Another really cool channel is actually the Virtuals channel. If you go into their Telegram, there is a ton of people talking about what's going on Virtuals AI agents. I mean, it is very focused on Virtuals, but I think it's a great ecosystem to kind of jump into, in particular on Base. And it gives you a good primer, and these people are chatting constantly about the new stuff coming out on the platform. So a great resource in that kind of respect. Now, when it comes to Virtuals, I did a tutorial on how to create your own agent here just about a month ago. It's a really good resource, and I think that when you really dive into things, creating is also one of those ways that you can actually learn too. Now, I would not say creating a token is something you should take lightly, but the platform itself is pretty cool. And if you guys want to go check that out, I'll put the link below here. But we did have a lot of fun going over this and creating our own token here on Virtuals. And I think the protocol and platform has come a long way even since then. Now, in contrast, Solana has its own kind of version of Virtuals. So I wanted to make sure you guys knew about it. It's called Waifu. It's VVAIFU. So it's not actually a W, it's two V's. I don't know why they do it, man. I don't get it. But it's in a similar way. You can create AI agents there in a kind of no-code way. And it's built using the ELIZA OS, right, versus using the game framework, which is what we see Virtual is based on, right? ELIZA OS is kind of like the Solana version from AI 16Z. And so this is one of those frameworks that you can use. And I'm actually gonna be doing a tutorial on how to create your own agent using ELIZA without a token, because we did one before on Virtuals with the token. I want to show you guys how you can create your own very unique AI agent to do whatever you want using this framework. So another cool thing to kind of dive in if you're going past the trading point, but knowing how this stuff works is also half of the battle. That's why I was pointing this out, right? When you understand how things work, it's easier to take advantage of the situations and be able to profit, right? That's one of the reasons why I've done so well here, is because I understand a lot of times how the tech works, and it gives you a little bit of an extra insight. You can use things directly through contracts or directly through the blockchain instead of having to use some of these consumer focused easy to use platforms, and you're going to beat the crowd every single time. Right? So knowing and learning how this stuff works can be an advantage too, to make that next 100x. All right, agents, well, there you go. I summed up a bunch of tools and resources and things I like to use to find brand new AI agents or look for that great next opportunity. Not every token is going to be 100x, and that's okay. All you got to do is stack 10x's and you got 100x. And that sounds kind of dumb to say, but that's literally how the biggest traders win on a daily basis. Stack little wins. You don't have to always go for a big swing. It's not always about home runs. Just get on first base, and then get another one on first base, and another one on first base, and eventually, man, they just start coming home. So hopefully these resources helped you, agents. But that is all we have for today. As always, this briefing never happened. Secret Agent Stash, over and out.